How cute is that?
Right?
They look so happy singing it,
That's
too.
the Mills Brothers, the 1950s decade represented by the Mills Brothers Yellowbird, because this weekend on Sunday, the Gastronomic Union of Tucson is doing a time warp dinner at the Carriage House downtown, right behind Downtown Kitchen and Cocktails.
Wow.
And they are going to go through the classic and iconic foods of the decades, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Right?
Yeah.
And with each of those decades, in this time warp, we are going to visit musicologically the vibe of that era. And when we were talking in the break, you were telling me, by the way, I'm housekeeping. Forget all the housekeeping. But by the way, hello, welcome back. This is 2:07 p.m. You are listening to Around the Table, live from the City of Gastronomy, AM 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk, where each and every day we invite the most interesting and influential tastemakers, newsmakers, lawmakers, style makers, movers, shakers, healers, mystics, foodies, and friends to sit around the table with us and join us for conviviality and hospitality. We save the seat at the head of the table for you, our guest of honor. Look, I brought you popcorn.
Yum.
And, you know, I'm feeding the crows. And during the break, with my extraordinary friends and co-hosts, Michelle Cardenas from Brightway Wellness is here, and Rianne Maldonado from the Shy Moons Center was doing a reading with her new deck of tarot cards as a sort of prelude to this hour, where we will welcome your calls and questions at 520-790-2040. And this new deck has crows on it, and we were talking about crows. And we were talking about birds and a myth or a misconception that I had, that I was told by one of my grandmothers, that birds weren't lucky. And you were telling me otherwise, and that your grandmother had a yellow bird, and you were telling me her yellowbird stories. And the one song that my grandmother played on the piano was, in fact, Yellowbird. And then Bob played
Magic.
Yellowbird from the Mills Brothers. I'm telling you.
Spirits here in the kitchen.
Don't you love how that all just sort of like
I do. Yeah.
Stuff like that happens all the time, and if you're not ready and you don't see it, you don't look for it, you can't see it, you won't see it. And it's just like going to the beach. How can you go to the beach and find the piece of sea glass that's twinkling blue in the sand, and 1,000 people before you in the last hour had walked by that very same spot and not seen it? How is it that beauty and magic are hiding in plain sight for all of us? On menus, in kitchens, on the beach, in the desert. This is an idea we're going to explore a little bit today. But you have these brand new cards, and this is one of the things you do at the Shy Moon Center, among other things, because you also do Reiki healing, and you do Reiki healing and other things and other services for prenatal, new moms, and postnatal. But in this instance, I asked you, let's do a reading, and we pulled 3 cards, and you were about to start telling us what they are.
Yeah, and this deck is very new to me because my upcoming tarot share tonight, I wanted to have a few more decks for people to play with, but I think I'm going to hog this one because I like it more than I anticipated. So I'm going straight off intuition and imagery here. I haven't read the book or anything, and I'm probably not going to. We pulled the Ace of Cups, the Magician, and the Three of Pentacles. All of these cards, all 3 of them are excellent cards. The Ace of Cups are all about emotions and feelings.
We're going to hold them up for the camera to everybody see.
Yeah. Good job. Thank you. And the aces are the purest form of the suit. So when we're talking about our raw, most real emotions, that's going to be your Ace of Cups. And this imagery is really beautiful because I see some fire and some clouds, but then you see these lotus flowers and the sun coming up, coming through the clouds. So even if you're having some stormy emotions right now and they're very, very real, looks to me like there is a sun peeking through, Jennifer. Okay, next one, the Magician. We have had this card a lot, you and me, the 3 of us, our group. The Magician always means that you have everything you need inside you. You don't need anybody else. All of your tools are readily available because the Magician is having the cup, sword, pentacle, and wand right there. So whatever's going on in life, know that you don't need anything else except your divine support system because you've got it all right there. And
to have faith in it.
You have to believe.
You got to trust it?
Yeah.
and it's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. You have
You
to
have a little
know.
bit of, oh, what if?
Do it
The
anyway.
minute you say what if,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you got to come back to the. And by the way, we should say, so you've laid out 3 cards.
Yes.
And left to right.
Left
the
to right.
magician's in the middle. What does the middle position mean?
Well, it depends, because I didn't know you were going to pull 3 cards. I did not assign them an intention. So to me, I'm going to read it as the whole story, that all the messages just need to be said. Sometimes we'll do like a strength heart challenge, but I did not do that today because I didn't know how many cards you were going to pull. So
Neither did I.
Right? So we're just going to read the whole story. And then the 3 of Pentacles. Pentacles are, money, family, career, all of those things that we need to survive in life. But lately, I've been having, I don't know if you saw, I think you commented in one of my posts. Lately, to me, Pentacles are really signifying safety and security. And 3 is all about creation, think man, woman, baby. It's like growth and expansion. So when I'm looking at these as a picture, a story, I'm going to think, okay, your emotions might be really raw and really big right now, but there's hope as long as you look inside, and then that will bring you the safety, security, and expansion that you're looking for. Michelle has something to say.
Well, I just see what's interesting in this 3 of Pentacles is that the birds are plucking the harvest, plucking the fruits of these trees, and are
cherries.
enjoying the sweetness that is around them. So I just wanted to
I love that.
mention that because
Yeah.
it's a neat imagery.
It absolutely is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
It is a
It
good
is
thing.
a
It's
good
a
thing.
good
But it's always a
story.
good thing because 2 things you say. The cards never lie.
True.
And
If you don't like what they say, change it.
and how do we do that?
Change your perspective, your attitude, whatever you need to do. If you don't like what it says is going on in your life or going to happen in your life,
Don't pull more cards. That's not going to solve it.
No.
You're going to get the
Mm-mm.
same answer just with different
or
words.
you're just going to get muddied waters. So you just then take a deep breath, or 3 or 4, and lift up your head and look somewhere else and point in a different direction.
Because we have free will.
Yep. Yeah, free will. The cards are just a story, a point in time right now. They're not telling you they're not a fortune telling device. That's what the whole woo woo.
yeah.
That's what it comes from.
Yeah.
People think, oh, big turban fortune teller. No, it's a story about what you're feeling inside right now, and you can make a change to that. Always. You can always change course.
Because here's the beauty of it. Again, I feel like the neophyte in this. And when we have these conversations, the whole point of Spirit's Kitchen is let's go hang out in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
We each have a little bit of coffee.
Mhm.
We're going to look at everything.
Share, learn.
And you guys are teaching me, and I'm the student. And when we want to talk about food, I'll tell you what I know,
Mhm.
and then you can be the student. But together we kind of collaborate about these
Absolutely.
things. And when you go to a party or you go to a house you've never been to before, if you're the kind of person who knows, I'm going to go hang out in the kitchen, because, that's a safe place to go because it's the heart of the home. And there'll always be something, you can find something to do, like, I'll rinse the dishes, or I'll do something. There's always something to contextualize and give you a frame of reference and a point of reference.
Good point.
And the beauty of the kitchen is it's the place that welcomes us all.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a front door, and I always think it's funny that most people's homes, the kitchen's not like right where the front door is.
Mm-mm.
You like walk in, and there's like a fancy welcome you area, and then maybe some stairs or like a living room or whatever.
A bunch of kids' shoes.
A bunch of kids' shoes,
Right.
But you don't ever like walk right into the kitchen, which is really like saying, "Here, welcome." So I'm adding that. You mentioned that there is a share tonight. We love the term share. If I could call this show Gratitude Share, or use the word gratitude and use the word share somehow,
Yeah.
I would find a way to do that. Talk about tonight's event.
So a tarot share, to me, it's called other names by other people. Sometimes it's tarot salon. There's a lot of terms, but I like the term share because it's not a class. I'm not there teaching anybody. I do an introduction, and I choose a spread, and everybody gets to bring their own deck or borrow one of mine, and we kind of break off into little groups, and we learn from each other. So everybody lays their cards out in the same spread, and then they take turns interpreting their own cards, but they can take feedback from the people in their
What's
group.
a spread?
It's a layout. Fancy word for a layout. So tonight,
And a layout is when you take a deck of cards.
Mhm.
In this case, we're talking specifically about tarot cards.
and you assign each
And then
position
you
a meaning.
and you deal them into a certain position or
Yeah,
into a certain
layout
pattern.
so that each card will answer a question or a specific position. Earlier we mentioned strength, heart, challenge. So that would be about an individual person in that moment. What is the strength the universe sees in them?
So if I pulled another card right now and I said this is the strength, and then could I do that?
You could do it just like that.
Okay. So here I am. I'm gonna do that right now. And we're gonna do this.
Okay.
Strength. Heart. What was the last one? Challenge? Challenge.
Okay. So in your strength position, you got the 5 of Pentacles. Now, you've had this card before. This is the regret card where you need to turn around and look at your blessings, and you're talking gratitude today. So it's saying, though, that this is a strength in you. So I think you have been working on that. Okay. So that is appreciating your blessings. That universe is saying you're doing a good job. Keep it up. So then in your heart position, you got the Tower. You got some turmoil right now. The Tower is major upheaval in life. It is a big, big thing that you're feeling. And in your heart position, your heart's broken or going through something right now. In the challenge position, we have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so this card is interpreted by people. Well, all cards are interpreted differently. A lot of people take this card to mean he's miserly and he's hoarding his money. I don't always see it that way. To me, I think he feels isolated, and he's actually using his pentacles. He's protecting some of his chakras. To me, the crown chakra, the main part of the body, and the ground, so the root chakra, and his back is to the city. I guess I should show the camera. So to me, whatever deck I have with this card, I often see it as sometimes when we're in a major upheaval and we need to protect our heart, we're going to go turn our back on everything and just kind of
hunker in.
Yeah, exactly. So that is.
Let's show these cards, because I think this is also interesting. If you want to have
strength,
Rianne Maldonado from the Shy Moon Center and the Vintage Oracle pull some cards for you right now. We can do this over the radio because it's the beauty of what we're doing.
Okay.
Give us a call right now, 520-790-2040. So we'll finish up with this, 520-790-2040. And you're going to give a tarot share tonight. Where's that going to take place?
At the Shy Moon Center on Broadway at the solar powered offices. It is full as of now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's we have it
fantastic.
We have it
so
on
there's
Meetup.
A waiting list.
Yeah, on the I did just get a cancellation, but on the Tucson Tarot Meetup group, that's how you can find out what's going on.
Okay.
So my shares filled up instantly. There's also one tomorrow morning, but check the list, because if anybody cancels, you can come.
Yeah,
and
get
we
yourself
should
on
say,
the wait list.
Yeah, get on the wait list.
Get on the wait list. But for you, lucky listener, 520-790-2040, Rianne has something very special in her own expression of gratitude for this moment. She has something for you.
I'm going to give away a 30-minute reading.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Private reading at the Shy Moon Center. Come sit with me, whether you have a question or you don't. You just want to see what the universe has to say. We will look at the cards and we will chat.
520-790-2040. Caller number 2 right now. 520-790-2040. Caller number 2 right now.
I got to knock some energy out of these cards for the caller.
I know.
Got to freshen them up a bit.
Got to freshen them up a bit.
Yeah.
So one of the things we wanted to talk about today, as we were preparing for this moment in time, is the and. And is a really important word. In this culture, we tend to make things be this or that. Why are we so much more comfortable with or, choice, and black and white than and, inclusive, and love? So if you were looking at it, we were talking about everything is love or a lack of love, and love is and lack of love is or.
Right.
That's how I kind of look at that. Michelle from Brightway Wellness.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Better now.
Had a little bit of a shockaroo today, and you're here. I can see your back. I can see your back with us.
I'm feeling a lot better now.
Okay.
Just being in the room with you guys is great. Thank you.
Because there's a lot of really great energy in this room. And hopefully
Definitely.
we'll let you feel it all the way out there.
Yeah.
But talk to me about, when we talk about spirit and food in the kitchen, we were talking earlier today.
Yeah, we had a great conversation.
And that was the stimulus for this topic today.
Right. So
you've
I'm
had time to
left
think
out.
about it.
it's okay. You get to experience it now. So we were talking about how do we bring food and spirit together and make that and happen. Something that I do regularly is I will Reiki my food and and my drink.
And because you're Reiki attuned and you are a Reiki master, as is
Yes.
Rianne, let's just stop for a second and say Reiki is an energy healing. We've already established that.
Right.
But does it involve tools? What does it involve?
Okay, so Reiki, the basis of Reiki is love and delivering it with intention. So even if you're not Reiki attuned, although if you are, it's even bigger, it explodes. Even if you're not Reiki attuned, you can still infuse your drink and your food with good energy, good intentions, love.
So when my grandmother used to cook for me when she was living, and she made my favorite foods, and I would eat them, and they tasted better than anything I could have ever eaten anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. That intention was there.
Was she Reikiing the food, or was she just intending to give me love in my food?
She was just intending to give you love in your food, but it's very powerful. You don't have to do Reiki for it to work. And Dr. Masaru Emoto proved that. He did a lot of research on water, and there's tons of evidence out there.
On Google.
On Google.
What are you going to Google?
You're going to Google Masaru Emoto or Emoto water.
And the shape of water.
The shape of
Pretty
water,
sure it's
yeah.
the shape of water.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Ways.
And what happens?
So what happens is, so he did some research and looking at water under a microscope, when you take it out of the tap or a bottle or whatever, just as it is, and he took a picture of it under a microscope. It was very globular. It's not very pretty. Then what he did was he had people say nice things to the water. I know it sounds crazy, but it's
Don't
not
say
crazy.
woo-woo.
I think it was even some nuns that prayed over the water.
Perhaps. It's all the same though.
Yeah.
Saying nice things,
Yeah.
praying, raking, it's all love.
Yes.
So with that intention of sending that cup of water with love and intention, they then took that water and looked at it after that procedure was done, and they found that the water now took on a crystalline, snowflake-like, beautiful formation.
So you're telling me that the water was its best self.
Yes.
It rose to the occasion.
It did. Then
And let me just say one other thing. It's not lost on me that we're like 97% water as human
Right.
beings.
That's the point.
That's
too.
right. So if we try to live our life with love and good intention and beauty, then we ourselves are changing the crystalline matter of our own self. Then he also did some research on what happens when you say hateful words. It turned even more globular, ugly. It was like very deformed shapes. Same thing when we think those things for ourselves or we say those things. We are bombarding our bodies with stuff that's not serving our best and highest good. We want to be beautiful. We want to eat beautiful. We want to drink beautiful. So when chefs cook with intention, when our grandmothers cook with intention of love, then that is directly transferred to the food and drink that you're now putting in your body.
Okay, you're blowing my mind. So you're telling me that you can Reiki food.
Yes.
You can Reiki anything.
When you go into a restaurant and you go out to eat, because I've been out to eat with you, I don't remember you ever sitting over the food with your hands like I was on your Reiki table.
I don't, because I don't want to freak people out, but I do.
So-
with intention in my mind, I take, and it doesn't take long. It's just a moment. Sometimes you'll see me close my eyes. I don't know if you've noticed. If you haven't, that's okay. I'll gaze at my food, and I'll just, with intention, I will ask the universe to bless this food. I'm sending love from my heart, so it doesn't always have to be an intention in my brain. It can be just love pouring out from my heart onto my plate.
So if I'm
Same
present,
thing. Yeah.
you're blowing my mind with this, by the way. If I'm present and you are saying that you can transform this food,
Mm-hmm.
and you and I are doing Weight Watchers together,
Mm-hmm.
you could ask this food to like go easy on me.
Yeah.
To nourish you appropriately
Mhm.
and to not linger what doesn't need to linger. Because
Wow.
sometimes we can't always make the best choice wherever we are. You know, say you're at someone's house and they made you a nice meal and you don't want to be rude. You could do what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yep.
love this. All right, we have to take a very quick break. This is blowing my mind. 520-790-2040. Welcome back. We will be right here looking at these cards, thinking about this connection, welcoming your thoughts and questions. This is AM 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk. We'll be back with more right after this. This is Around the Table, live from the City of Gastronomy. Don't touch that dial. This is the smoothest time warp ever. Welcome back, everybody. This is Around the Table, live from the City of Gastronomy. The Gastronomic Union of Tucson is doing their big dinner on Sunday night at the Carriage House with the theme of time warp. And we are celebrating. If you want to go to the dinner and you want to check out for tickets, go to carriagehousetucson.com. We're going to be talking in just a little while with members of the Gastronomic Union of Tucson team who will be preparing this multi-course edible extravaganza with a theme of time warp, celebrating food iconic food from each of the decades, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I've seen the menu. It looks amazing.
I was going to ask if they're
It
keeping
looks
it under
amazing.
wraps.
No, it looks amazing. It's truly amazing. It's
Are
going to
you
be
going?
delicious. Of course I am.
course.
How would you miss it?
I know.
I'm trying to get Michelle to come with us, but she's busy.
I can't. I'm going to be out of town. I'm sorry.
But we have a listener who's called in for a
Yay.
reading. And you could call in for a reading as well, 520-790-2040. It is 2:31 p.m. and you are here live in the City of Gastronomy with us. This is Spirit's Kitchen every Friday in the second hour. 520-790-2040. Edith, hello. How are you? Thanks for listening.
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. Now, do you have a question for the Vintage Oracle?
I do not have a question. I was just wondering if she can just pull me a card for the day.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
All right, Edith. So I am knocking the energy out of these cards because I'm going to get it nice and clean for you.
Yay.
And I'm going to spread them out instead of just pulling one off the top. I feel like doing that. So if you've been listening, you know I got a new deck. So I'm going to do this from the Crow Tarot if you care to look it up. All right, let's see.
But we're going to show you because if
Yeah.
you go to YouTube Live right now
I'm
and go to
watching you right now.
1030 The Voice.
Yay.
Oh, can I put this one back?
No, do
No,
it.
cards don't lie.
Cards don't lie. You have to show
But
it.
it's a new deck, and you're going to look at all the interpretations. And you just had the Hanging Man, so
I
it's going
did.
to tell you to look at perspective.
What's
so just-
oops? Did we lose her? Edith, are you
No.
there? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. So I know you can handle this, Edith, because
Okay.
you are a wise woman. So you got the Devil card, which will
Okay.
freak out some people, but I know you won't freak out. Can you see it on YouTube?
What does that mean?
Okay.
It's freaking me out. Well, your
Don't be-
reaction freaks me out
No,
more.
don't. I freak out because it makes people freak out. It doesn't have to
So
be.
you know if you stop freaking out, people will stop freaking out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that. So the Devil card does not mean anything horrible and awful is going to happen, anything like that. Often it means that we are like in too deep, kind of like addiction. But it doesn't have to be bad addiction. So, it could be addicted to work or working out, something like that. So, those things in life that we love are luxuries. If this was your card for today, I would just say, just keep everything in moderation. Don't get too. It could even be someone in your love life that just popped up into my head. So,
It's my homework today.
it's your homework. Oh, do you need to take a
It's
break?
my homework.
Okay. Yes. So if you are focusing too much, too long, totally in over your head in something, it's probably telling you to take a break. That
I'm
it's
okay
too
with
much.
that.
I love that.
Yeah. So you just got permission from the universe to go out and have some fun. It's Friday.
Perfect.
Yay!
Thanks so much for listening, and thanks for
Thank
watching
you.
us on YouTube Live on 1030 The Voice. So 2:34
Thank you.
p.m. Bob, what
Ooh.
comes next? Bob, you know what comes next, right? Bob?
There's a moment in time coming.
No, keep going.
Bob.
So Bob and I are sitting in the studio the other day, and I'm looking over his shoulder, and it was 12:34 and some change. Like right now, it's 2:34 p.m. And in 10 seconds, we're going to have a moment in time. So if you look at this, see, this is what we do.
2,
This
3,
is
4,
kind of
5,
fun.
6.
Here it is. Ready?
Do you want me to
2, 3,
cover it
4.
up?
There it
There you go.
is.
There we go.
So 2, 3,
I
4,
didn't
5,
mean
6. Yeah.
Sometimes I use those as a moment to take a breath and just thank the angels for being around me.
All right. So
Yeah.
answer a question for me.
Mm-hmm.
If you say just pick a card and do a 1-card reading and make the intention of that reading be for me for the day.
Yeah.
Or 3 cards or more. When would you know to do 1, 3, or more cards?
What you're compelled to do. Like Edith knew she just wanted one. So if you're like, I don't need a story. I just need some guidance. I just want something to look at, focus on, and think about for my day. A little bit of information that you can just take a little bite
Mm-hmm.
and use that. Pick one. If it's a little more complicated, like, I'm not really sure I feel today. Can you give me some guidance and kind of just see what the energy is? You want to look at the flow. So 3 cards would be good. But one,
Sometimes they jump out.
oh yeah, if
Talk
you're
about that.
shuffling. Okay, so if you're shuffling and one jumps out, thank you. You just reminded me of something to teach in my class on the 10th, which still has spots. If one jumps out, that's the one you're supposed to have. So if you were going to do more than one card and one jumped out, put that one aside, finish shuffling, pull your regular cards, and then know that the universe said, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. You need that, but this
Mhm.
is what you really
what you need
need.
to pay
This is it.
attention to.
This is it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that
Or
the Jaws
sometimes-
music? Did I just hear the Jaws music? That was kind of funny. 'cause
Sometimes
I know
I'll
Bob's-
want to just pull one card, but like 3 or 4 will fall out.
Well, then that's what you need.
Yeah.
When we're here together on Spirit's Kitchen, and you, as the masters in your categories of the things that you know and do and practice, master Reiki practitioners, Reiki masters, BioTouch. When we talk about tarot, we talk about things that have a certain mystic quality to them, and we try and tie it all together in a bigger way. We're doing so because now is a moment in time when we have a candidate for president of the United States who is on the woo-woo spectrum, right? There's a lot of awareness culturally for things that we just didn't talk a lot about before. We're approaching the conversation, and our hope is that things get normalized the more you talk about them in a normal way. You know, if you pull the devil card and you're like reacting to it, I mean,
Yeah.
if you react normal to it, then you get a normal reaction. If you don't, then you don't. Talk a little bit about this moment in time and how maybe this is where, you know, we're kind of ready to sort of change our perspective.
Do you want to take that one, Michelle?
You go for it.
Well, let me ask that slightly more. Let me sharpen that pencil just
Okay.
a little bit. We seem to be at this point in time. Are you feeling that, and are you seeing it in the work that you're doing and the way people come to you and respond to you?
You know, it's funny. Yes and no. You know what? I can't believe I'm gonna get a bit at a blah.
Right?
And
Yeah,
I
you
admit
have
it.
it.
too.
I do. I don't want to diminish the Reiki that I do. I love it. It is huge. It is so important. So when I say this, please take it for what it is. I feel like Reiki legitimizes me doing tarot, because when I meet people networking meal dinners with my husband and we're talking private investigator stuff, people love it, right? But then when I say, oh, by the way, I'm also a professional tarot reader, here's my card, they look at me like I'm crazy. Reiki softens that. So I think some things are growing to be more normal, but some things still are not. But what's amazing to me is I started the Tucson Tarot meetup group, and within 3 days, I had 80 members. So the need, the want, the desire is out there. People were clamoring, writing me messages saying, thank you for starting this group. I have an interest, and there's never been a group like this.
Well, and the wonderful thing about your share is that you're inviting people of all areas
Levels.
of life,
Yeah.
all levels, all kinds of diversity, men, women, children, all of them. And you're giving an opportunity for people to share this in love and light
Absolutely.
and demystify the
Yeah.
fact that tarot is dark and scary,
And
which it is
fortune-telling.
not. It's
Well,
not.
nothing. Love cannot make anything that's unloving.
Correct.
That's just the simple truth.
And
Mhm.
once you walk into Michelle's space or, Brightway Wellness or the Shyman Center, you can feel that love. So nothing negative or scary can even be going on in those locations.
I know that.
Yeah. So it's almost like we just need to get the people there so they can feel the love and see, oh, it's not dark with like red and black candles. Not that there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with that, but I'm just saying you can feel the light
we're,
and the
we're
love.
changing the perspective
Yeah.
though, because a lot of people, when they think tarot, they think crystal ball,
Turban on your
turban
head.
on your
We're
head.
not helping dispel that.
No, but we're.
I mean,
but-
we're three very attractive women
Yes.
who don't wear turbans.
right.
I'm
And
gonna wear
we
one
love
next week.
food.
we have guardian angel candles.
Yeah.
We
Have a little
we should-
coffee.
yeah.
All right. So before we have to take our next break, I was, admiring your cards and I was
Yeah.
shuffling them, and that just fell right out.
It
for
fell out.
You.
You didn't pick it for me. You had me in your mind.
I did.
Interesting.
Well, so that's important to say for our listeners that you must set an intention. Either
Yeah, I
one
did.
falls out or you are thinking
just-
of somebody.
It fell out.
The Page of Swords. Okay, swords, thoughts, communication, action. And the page is all about new beginnings and taking it off in a new direction and actually putting it into practice.
It's all
Wow.
three of us.
Yeah.
and there you are. That's
there
with
you
your
are
new
with your whole new
business
thing.
and taking off.
Can't tell what's below. It's a surprise. So it's really up to whatever we want and need.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Show that to
and,
the-
and the sword is pointing up.
A good trajectory.
Yeah.
All right. Bob said I can get closer to the camera. Is that
Okay.
good, Bob?
Don't move it around so much.
I'll make
people
them
That's woo, 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 woo.
All
Did you see it?
right.
Okay. We're going to take a very quick break. 520-790-2040. Join our conversation. We'd love to hear from you. AM 1030 The Voice, trusted local news and talk. It's a big edible weekend here in the Old Pueblo. It's going to be delicious. The Gastronomic Union of Tucson is having their dinner on Sunday evening. The knife fight is taking place at Charo Steak. Knife fight is the term of the cooking competition. So it's one chef versus another chef.
fun.
And what they will do is over 8 weeks compete in a series that is some of the most fun and delicious in town.
Oh, I
and
wanna go to
Saturday at noon at Charo Steak, they're going to do the draft. So they're going to decide who's going to be the draw and who you're going to compete against. 520-790-2040. This is Around the Table live from the City of Gastronomy, AM 1030 The Voice. We'll be right back. It is Time Warp Weekend here in Tucson as the Gastronomic Union of Tucson is taking the Time Warp thing and bringing it to edible life at the incredible. Where are we going? We're going downtown. Where are we going to go? We're going to go and have an extraordinary experience. Gastronomic Union of Tucson is doing their second of 3 summertime meals at the Carriage House. Carriage House Tucson is where you can go to find out if there are any tickets left. I know they are selling fast. And I would encourage you to come and experience this. It's going to be amazing and delicious. And the team of chefs who come together, by the way, they're all from different restaurants. No other city that I know of could have 40 or 50 chefs come together who in another city would be competitors, and in Tucson, they're collegial. I give a lot of credit to guys like Frankie Santos, who left us all too soon this week. I credit people like our friend Albert Hall, who's moved and retired, and the guys who made this town really feel like we're all friends. Guys like Jim Murphy over at Kingfisher, he's doing his road trip to the Midwest this week. I want to thank them for setting the tone for all of us that remain here, living the life in the hospitality and service industry, in the convivial business. We are here because this is one of the most delicious places on the planet. It's a city of gastronomy, for sure, because for 4,000 years we've come together to cultivate not only the cuisine and the crops with which to make cuisine, but we cultivate conviviality as well. And when it is too hot to cook, let's best just go out and make some cool conviviality with our friends at our favorite local places. I encourage you to do that. Rianne Maldonado and Michelle Cardenas are here with us. From Brightway Wellness and the Shy Moon Center. Welcome back, ladies.
Thanks.
All right, let's talk about this notion that we were talking about all show, which is when everything we talk about, when we talk about spirit, we're talking about love or lack of love, but we're talking about love.
Yeah.
When you put love in food, and when chefs intend to put love in food, it just tastes better. But when we were talking about that earlier today, Michelle and I were wondering, what would happen if you had someone in the kitchen raking your food? I was imagining the Chobani Yogurt Factory back east. And I wondered if there was a Reiki master standing on the platform overlooking the factory floor. Okay. Remember now, I want you to start imagining this, right? The trucks bringing in all the milk from all the family farms. And everybody working in the Chobani factory is wearing a white coat, like a lab coat, and they're wearing a hairnet over their hair. They're wearing the white wrappers over the booties, right? They're there because it's sanitary and clean. You can smell the sweet milk smell in the air, and they're making great yogurt. And you want every bit of that yogurt to be as delicious as possible. So can you imagine if they had somebody standing like a foreman on a platform above the production floor doing Reiki on the
That
yogurt?
would be so awesome.
How do we know they don't do that? How do we not know that the favorite things that we eat, make, enjoy, drink, share, how do we know that this isn't happening? Quietly, because it's a little on that scale, right?
Well, I think
the
you know
spirit,
when it's not happening.
well, you do know when
Yes.
it's not
You know,
happening.
for
You
sure.
know, my son and I talk about that all the time when we go out to eat somewhere, and you know that those places were not made with love. They're
Yeah.
not happy. The food isn't happy. Doesn't feel like it fills your belly well, and then you leave feeling yucky. You know that.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Reiki itself. It can be just the intention and the good energy of love that's being sent into the space. So, yeah, like Rianne said, you can taste it definitely when it's not there.
Yep.
Well,
for sure.
I want to talk about the fact that let's talk about spaces that might be a little sacred space, like you can't explain it. So there's this strip on North Campbell Avenue between Grant and Glen. It's right above where Brushfire Barbecue is now. That spot was originally called Daglio's, and Daglio's became Frankie's Cheesesteaks. Frankie's Cheesesteaks became really successful, expanded, and moved across the street to its present location on Campbell Avenue. Next up was Yoshimatsu. Yoshimatsu went in there. Tiny little space, magic little space. And they grew and were super successful, and then they moved across the street.
Wow.
And then the Brushfire Barbecue went in. And they went in that same space, and they grew, and they expanded. How do you explain otherwise that there's something really special going on there? Is it the space? Is it the food? Is it the intention? You got to ask that question, because they're also equal. And we talked about this the other day with the Tucson Foodie crew. There are also spaces that no matter what you put in there, it is going to tank and close in a matter of
That is
months.
I've seen
super
that a lot.
fascinating. That's really cool. And I think that it's got to be the space.
All right. So
I'm wondering if there's sort of a vortex in that space
that attracts
that
people who want success and love.
and it makes it happen.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
you
And
know
the more love that those businesses are putting into those people that are working at those businesses and the business owners are putting into that space just increases that vortex
For the
and
next.
makes it stronger. So
what is
it's
a
just-
vortex?
A vortex is sort of this. It's almost tornado-like.
Yeah.
It's sort of this
magic.
this whirlpool of beautiful energy that just is continuous.
The Coriolis effect, as they
you
say
want
on
to
the.
get in there.
Yeah.
You want to be in the
Okay.
vortex.
It feels good.
So here's my question. I'm going to open the phones on this one. You're going to love this. 520-790-2040. Where do you go to eat food that someone else makes in Tucson, Arizona, where it's so good and so delicious that you can't really explain? It's not just that this is a very talented chef. Like, Pink is easy because David Solorzano's a really talented chef. But even his genius, the food is even more delicious. He's loving that food before it comes to my table. Where in Tucson do you know or suspect that they are putting love in the food so that when you eat the food that they make, it's extra delicious? 520-790-2040. Where are they adding and seasoning the food with love? And dare I ask it, in a city like this where we have so many, I don't want to say the word alternative, it's just the wrong word, but the natural healing modalities and the energy healing modalities, for a city like this that has the best spas in the world, the best healthcare in the world, the best of everything, where do you think you have tasted Reiki being done in the kitchen? Is there a restaurateur in town who's a Reiki master? Is there somebody who's got a Reiki?
That's a good question.
Right? So here's my question.
I love
Have
that
you had any
question.
Reiki master, a Reiki students? And let's tell everybody how to become a Reiki student, because you can learn, and it's not learning Reiki, you become attuned, and you got to tell me a little bit more about it. But somebody could literally be in the kitchen, and even if you haven't gotten Reiki attunement, if you're working in the industry, you can go in and intend to make the food more delicious. That's what happens at Gastronomic Union of Tucson. That's why those meals are so incredibly delicious. It's not what the food is, it's the whole love they're
package.
putting into it. So I was thinking, what if this dinner on Sunday, everything got Reiki before it went out to every
my
diner?
gosh.
How would that be?
Well, then imagine all the different generation or years, that it's visiting. Imagine the love and the memories you would spark in people as they're eating that food. Think about a family
the
member.
60s, the
Yes.
70s, yeah.
A grandma, an aunt, or themselves back then in a happy memory because they felt the love while they ate the food.
Right.
Right.
And the people that are creating these dishes are in that moment, in that era, thinking happy thoughts,
I'm gonna
happy
ask-
memories,
I'm
and
going to ask
putting
you the
that.
next. I'm going to ask you the next crazy question. Can you imagine if at Pima Community College or the JTED program or the Culinary Institute of America or any culinary school, they had a little side class, and not even a side class. It's part of the mainstream curriculum where you learn to put the energy into the food.
That'd be beautiful.
Oh, that would be so amazing.
So Michelle, you're the Reiki master I'm turning to on this one. Can I put energy into, can I Reiki my food? And at what
Yes.
point do I do it at the farm? Do I do it at the farmer's market? Do I do it at the grocery store? Do I do it in the pot? Do I do it on the plate? Where do I Reiki my food?
Everywhere you can. If you only have the chance to Reiki it when it's right in front of you before you eat it, that's really all you need. But if you Reiki it along the way, it's being handled and touched and loved all the way through.
Right.
It's so much
So
better.
this weekend, here's the Reiki gift for you. Get ready. Get those hands going. Here's what's going to happen. Powwow, Produce on Wheels Without Waste, is doing their produce center in Tucson tomorrow, Saturday, at the St. Demetrios Greek Church. I think it starts at 7 a.m. Get there early because the produce is brilliant and it goes quickly. We're going to Reiki that. We are going to do radio Reiki specifically for you and the food that you're going to make and eat and share this weekend. We've got about 3 minutes left, so we don't have a ton of time for this. But I want you to imagine right now that with both Rianne Maldonado and Michelle Cardenas, what we are intending is that every little bit of love that you are going to put in the food that you make, buy, cook, preserve, put up, share, eat, enjoy. When you go out, you stay in. Whether you cook, whether you do a visit to one of your favorite places, whether you come to the Gastronomic Union of Tucson dinner, and in particular for the Gastronomic Union of Tucson dinner, this energy goes out to everyone who's going to share meals this weekend, and may this give you lots of extra love.
So we've been sending energy already. We've already started. So what I would like you to imagine is your refrigerator. Think of your fruits and vegetables and proteins and drinks and anything that you plan on consuming. And when you open that refrigerator, when you get home today, you're going to say to yourself, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you for bringing this nutritious food to me. And you're going to look at your refrigerator with love. And as you do that, you're going to carry this Reiki energy that we're sending right now, and it's going to infuse your food. And as you cook your food, think of love and your love pouring into the food as you cook it. And then when you put it on your plate, think of the love that goes into the food. And when you put that bite into your mouth, I want you to think of the love, the Reiki energy, filling your body and giving you most nutrition that you could ever possibly get from this food. And I love you. This is done with love and light.
And I want you to imagine that not only will the food that you're eating feed your body, that all of this energy will feed your soul and your spirit as well, because that is truly where all that enhancement will come to pass. We've got about a minute left, Rianne. Tell everybody one more time where you're located, and you've got a lot of events coming up.
2030 East Broadway Boulevard, Suite 221 at the Shy Moon Center. August 10th, the Tarot Basics class still has some spaces left, and watch the Tucson Tarot Meetup group for the tarot shares.
And Michelle Cardenas?
Yes, we have a Reiki share on the second Saturday of every month from 10 to 11 a.m. and the third Wednesday of the month from noon to 1, and those are free and open to the public.
I am very glad you're both here. I hope you have a marvelous weekend, and I want to thank you for bringing all this lovely healing, love, and energy to us. I hope you have a great weekend with your families, and I want to thank you once again for making all of this possible. And in the few seconds that we have left, John C. Scott is up next, the Dean of Talk Radio here in Southern Arizona, over 30 years on the air and making a difference by asking the hard questions. And do me one small favor. When you get home tonight, hug your kids and count your blessings.